Welcome to Niswatch. This is a web series where we talk about all things digital marketing, from SEO to content to web design and much more. Today, we will be taking you through our easy 6-step process for a content marketing audit. Now, you might be convinced that content marketing is going to revolutionize your business growth, and that is absolutely true. But before you get started, you need to know about where you stand right now and what are the areas that you need to focus on when you build your content marketing strategy. And the best way to know that is to perform a content marketing audit. Now, our easy 6-step way to do a content marketing audit is something that we call the PInKBeXA. Now, I know it sounds like Lady Gaga's second cousin, but it's not. It's an easy way for us to remember all the key parameters that we need to look at when doing a content marketing audit. Every content idea has to be measured against that benchmark. So our first step is P, which stands for the persona. Now, when you are writing any piece of content, it has to reach a target persona. Now, let's say you are an app development company and your target persona is that you want to help startups build their apps. Now, let's give your target persona a name. Let's say she is Jane. She is in her mid-20s. She has quit her job to build this startup, and she is looking for somebody who can bring her business idea to life. Now, if this is your content persona, if Jane is your content persona, then all your content needs to talk to Jane. So when you're doing your content marketing audit, the first question that you will need to ask is, does your content talk to Jane? Now, there are a couple of parameters which you can use to judge whether your content talks to Jane or not. The first step is the style. So this is the tone of voice that you're using in your content, the kind of language that you're using in your content, and you have to figure out if that is the kind of language that Jane would be looking for, that Jane would find relatable. The second thing is worth. The kind of content that you are creating, is it worth Jane's time? Is she going to spend a minute more than she has to on your content? The third thing that you need to look into is pace. Now, Jane is trying to build a startup. She has very little time. Her work day is hectic. So you need to build content that is in small, easy, digestible pieces that will fit into Jane's work day. And the fourth thing that you need to consider is constraint. Now, when you have a brand, you might be looking at a couple of customer personas. Now, one of them is Jane and the other one may be somebody else, and you need to talk to both of them equally. So that is a kind of constraint that comes into play when you are writing content for Jane. So you have to take both your personas or all your personas into account and have a style that is relatable to all of them. So in these 4 characteristics, you can find out if your content is actually talking to Jane. The second thing that you will need to look at is information. Now, every piece of content that you write has to be geared towards fulfilling some sort of informational need for your target persona. Now, getting back to Jane, if we simply ask the question, what would Jane be looking for, or what kind of information she would want, you can come up with questions like, when do you outsource your app development? How much does app development cost? How do you find a good app development company? So all these are questions that Jane would be wanting answers to, and all these would be questions that you should help Jane find the answers to. So if your content is revolving around the informational needs of Jane, that is when your content has the best chance of reaching Jane and convincing her of considering your brand. So the second question that you need to ask in your content marketing audit is the information you're providing useful to your customer persona? The third parameter in the content marketing audit is the keywords. Now, the best way for your content to reach your target persona is when they type, or when they are searching for your product or service, your content should come up in the search results. Now, again, taking the example of Jane, what would she be typing when she is looking for an app development company? Let's say she is typing mobile app development firms, or is she typing application development firms? Is she typing Android app development, or is she typing iOS app development? Now, depending upon what keywords she is using to search for your company, you need to know those keywords and incorporate them into your content. So the third question in the content marketing audit should be, Do you have your keyword research in place? If you do not have your keyword research in place, it is time to buckle up and get that done. And if you already have your keyword research in place, it is a great place to look for content ideas and create content accordingly. The fourth step is the buying cycle. Now, a buying cycle has typically 3 stages that we look at. That is the awareness, the consideration, and the decision making phase. Now, for Jane, the awareness phase will be what sort of an app do I want, should I or should I not outsource my app development, and all of that stuff. And when she gets down to decision making, she will be looking for content like, if I'm outsourcing app development, how much is that going to cost me? How much of a control am I going to have over the project? And those sort of questions. And finally, when she has her top 5 contenders, that is the time when she is looking for content like case studies and comparative content, which will help her know that this company does better, this company has these sort of services that I might be looking for. And that is the sort of content you can provide to get her to realize why your company is her best bet when it comes to developing an app. Usually brands provide content in terms of all the 3 different buying stages, but you can afford to be a little more exclusive in this sense. You might want quick results from your website, and you might decide to go with content that is only in the consideration or decision making phase, because you do not want to waste time making customers aware of the product. You want customers who are already aware of the product, and you just want to help them decide whether to go with your brand or to go with somebody else. So which stage of the buying cycle you want your content to be is something that you can choose upon, but the 3 cycles of awareness, consideration, and decision making is something that you should take into account when creating any piece of content. Coming to the 5th parameter of the content marketing audit, and that is the user experience that your website provides. Now, you are creating really great content and people are liking it and coming to your website, but there have been no leads and no conversions. So what just happened? Most probable case is that the user experience broke the deal. Now, let's consider 2 scenarios. Jane lands up on your website. She found your blog somewhere, she landed up on your website and sees that the blog has a really small font that she cannot read. It is really haphazard service pages, and she doesn't know where to find what she wants, and she cannot go to the next blog, she cannot go to the previous blog. She has no idea what to do on your website, and so she leaves, and there goes your lead. In the second scenario, Jane lands up on a website which has a very easy web design. She knows where to find what, and it is really intuitive, and she can find all your content really easily. Now, that is the time when she is going to spend time on your website, read all your content, and you are going to be a serious contender for her to consider in terms of somebody who's going to make her app for her. So user experience is a really critical aspect that you need to get right for your website, and the 5th question of the content marketing audit that you need to answer is that, is your website giving your customers a good user experience? If yes, nothing like it. If not, then it's time to fix it. The last and final parameter to consider for a content marketing audit is the action. Now, let's say customers are landing up on your website, or they're reading a blog, and after they finish reading that, you need to tell them what is the exact next piece of action that they need to do. Should they contact you? Should they sign up for a newsletter? Should they go read the next blog? What is it they should do? You should be clearly guiding them towards it, and that is important because that is how all the rest of your content is going to get discovered. Let's say Jane lands up on your website, she reads a blog about how you can create a great app for her, or how you created a very nice app prototype in a very little time, and she liked that piece of content, and that is something that she would want for herself. And now, if you do not have a call to action, she would be thinking, that's nice what they did, maybe I should contact them sometime, and she would close the window. But if you have a call to action right there which says contact us now or get your free prototype right now, she is going to click it right there, and you have your lead. So you see, the call to action is another critical piece of information or critical aspect on your website that has to be there across the website and on every piece of content, and that is how you will ensure that when people read your content, they're taking the desired action. So that was PInKBeXA, Niswey's 6-step easy process to get a content marketing audit. Now this is a great way to look at all the parameters and answer all the associated questions, and that is how you will know where you stand right now and what are the immediate next steps that need to be followed. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did like the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. You can also find a lot of such informational blogs on our website, which you can click right here and read all the blogs. Also, you can watch our previous video, which was about creating your own inbound marketing framework, and you can watch the video right there. So once again, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. This is Nilanjana signing off.